Hello YouTube, it's Nelfoot here, and just doing some more playing of 7 Days to Die. I wanted to explore around the wastelands and desert area, and actually give you a little bit of a idea about the wastelands. They're actually a really good area for resources. Um, if you will look on the left here, you will see right now that I actually have a stage 1 infection. I'm going to need to get some antibiotics to cure that, or craft some antibiotics if I can find a beaker. I do not currently have a beaker. We could get those maybe in a garage, or possibly even off of a nurse zombie to be exact. You can see in my inventory though I have picked up quite a lot of stuff since the last time we recorded here. Interestingly enough, I have some empty cans, which we can go ahead and craft into scrap iron. I was going to do that in a previous video, so we'll just do it here. That will add to the scrap iron I have, which now means we can actually make a much better club than this wooden club. So we will pull up our recipe for a spiked club, put down our 4 sticks, and our scrap iron. Craft out this spiked club. And we'll take this wooden club and we'll just toss him away. We have plenty of, we have to get closer to the inventory to toss it away. We have plenty now. We have a fire axe of 345 strikes we can make with it. Spiked club will make 200 strikes, and we can easily craft one more spiked club. Or, if you notice here, this one can be repaired with metal strips. Metal strips can also be used to repair the fire axe. One way to make metal strips we showed in another video is to break down some of these short iron pipes. I believe one gives us 4. 5, actually. I believe one gives us 5. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm tight on inventory space. Oh, no, actually I will, because we can use those to immediately repair up our fire axe. The lag is actually pretty bad. I'll show you here in a second why. 395 of 500. We'll just have to survive with that for a second. If we look at the map, I am right on the border of 3 biomes: desert, wastelands, and burned, I believe is what we would call that. I'm sure one of you will know the official name. But you can see it here behind me. The trees are burned and scarred, and there are actually burned zombies in this area. The reason why the lag appears to be so bad here is because we're getting zombies from everywhere. Well, I'm actually being surrounded here, and the lag has got me. I believe we're going to... I do have some items that I can heal with, which I better do really quickly. That's actually probably the worst lag spike I've had in the game so far. And actually, I don't know how well this recording did, so I'm going to stop the recording, take care of some zombies, see how that came out, and we will be right back. Okay, so we've recovered from that lag spike here, and I've moved a little bit deeper. I was sitting right there on the border of those 3 biomes. I suspect we were getting lag because maybe there were 3 times the zombies spawning. We had zombie dogs, or perhaps it was just the dogs creating the lag because they do move very fast. Anyway, we could experiment with that by seeing if the same thing happens here. Or in this area, and I may experiment with that, but if I do, it's not something I'm going to make you suffer through. We'll just try it and maybe report back. Anyway, you can see now that I'm around this lake, and I wanted to give you an idea of some of the resources you can pick up in this biome. This biome here is actually it's actually really good for resources. This large building and warehouse here, I have picked up a lot of stuff from there. If you look at my inventory, I'm actually just about plumb full. I have actually found quite a lot more guns than I was able to carry. We found a shovel, we found a repair tool. We've killed a lot of dogs, gotten some rotten flesh, finally found a sleeping bag, and I'll show you that in a moment. But the main thing I wanted to show you is the abundance of iron that's in this zone. Every one of these little I-beam stacks can be broken down for iron. That does take quite a bit. And originally I was wondering if it was going to break at all. But if we keep up with it, it will eventually break. And these are actually very good. You can dig, ultimately, mine underground to get your iron, but this is a pretty good source of it right here on the surface. So, that will actually become these items right here, the scrap metal blocks, which we can melt these down to create iron. I can craft them into these scrap iron items here, which can be used for a lot of different construction items. But that makes the Wasteland, in my opinion, a very good area to maybe start in, or if you don't start in, at least get here to get you some initial iron without having to dig massive caverns underground and not necessarily know if you're going to even find iron where you're digging. So, I am going to pick up a lot more of these. I'm not going to make you suffer through that. We will trek back north to our YouTube base camp, which, if you recall, is up here on Lake Road. Might check out that biome border and see if we get the same issue there on the way. Probably will hit the city. We will probably hit Dursville so I can see if I can find a beaker and get our infection cured. And I will see you back at the base camp. Okay, so on our way up to the lake house here, really, before I even got to our triple biome or the city, I did run across this little building in the middle of the burned out zone, and I wanted to explore it, so we found some antibiotics. Awesome! We can cure our infection. Okay, so here we are. We made it back to our lake house. Not too much adventure along the way. I did run into a pile of zombies going along the outside of Dursville here. With the basic weapons we have right now, we would not really be well advised to go into the city. There are just way too many zombies, and the zombie dogs are actually the most difficult part of this. So, we made it back here. Obviously, our inventory is completely full, so we want to get rid of some of this stuff. We want to condense down. For instance, we have a bunch of murky water. We need to boil that murky water down. We'll do so with pot. We'll put in our coal. We'll boil our murky water. And we want to be, relatively efficient with this. Coal is pretty easy to get. It's in all the boulders and whatnot around, but still, you don't want to just leave your coal in there burning. We actually have 2 campfires here, so I'll pull out some of my coal. Once you leave the screen, it won't let you pick up half the stack again, but alright. We can get our second. We don't have 2 cook pots. I scrapped my second cook pot. Okay, well, you get the idea. So we have a bunch of water. I'm not going to make you wait through all of the boiling of the water here. We'll just skip through once we've done that. Alright, so our water is crafted. And our inventory is so full that, we're going to want to make some chests to store the things in. We did get attacked by zombies last night, and they actually caused an issue here that I had not thought about. I have been putting things in these storage, or the cabinets around the outside of the building. A dog apparently got stuck in the terrain. So you can see the hole that was dug there. He knocked out this block here. Several more blocks under there. Also knocked out the cabinet. You can see one cabinet is gone. This cabinet has quite a lot of damage, and this one does too. the items that are inside of here, do they survive? I don't know. Obviously, I could destroy the cabinet and find out myself, and that is just potato seeds, so it's not a big deal if we lose them. But anyway, we are going to create storage chests, and we're going to put those up here. See, I've already put some items in here, tools and some scrap lead, gunpowder, whatnot. So the way we craft these, you'll have to have your wooden planks, and you arrange them as so, or of course, you can find the recipe here, and we craft ourselves one. Alright. And then you put the sucker down, wherever you want it. Being that they are up here, not very likely the zombies are going to break through. And even if they do, we can, hopefully destroy them before they were to destroy our chests. So, I'm going to, make a bunch more chests, obviously, as we need them. We have, actually, one thing here I really want to show you, and that is to make yucca juice. Let me go ahead and craft up some yucca juice. Yucca juice, you get the yucca plants from the desert. They set out on the ground, just like the blue and yellow plants. You can pick them. Very, very easy to get. I do not know if they respawn, but there are a ton of them there. Obviously, you get the glass jars from just about everywhere, or you can craft them from the mold, just like we made earlier in a previous video. I'll show you the different stats here once we get this last yucca juice completed. Alright, so yucca juice. 30 to stamina, 5 to fullness, 15 to hydration. So it affects 3 of the 4 stats, and it affects them pretty good. Bottled water affects stamina and hydration. So yucca juice is an exceptional product to have. It covers everything, and it doesn't take up 2 slots to do it. As long as you can get the yucca, you're good to go there. I also picked up a weapon repair kit. We can see that my hunting rifle needs some repair. Probably won't take all 3, but we will go ahead and do the repair. Actually, it did take all 3. I imagine one of those was probably wasted, but that's alright. We also picked up a sleeping bag. We are going to want to place our sleeping bag down, and what this will do is set our spawn point, wherever we happen to put it. Let's just put it there. So now, if we look at our map, it's very hard to see because I'm sitting on top of it, but you can see it flashing there. Underneath me is a marker indicating that this is my spawn point. When I die, this is where I will come back. As long as I remember where I die, I can get back to my backpack and pick up my supplies. I do not know if there's a timer, but I do know that I have had 2 or 3 backpacks on the map. And I have seen the icon disappear, but I remembered where it was. I got back to that area, and the backpack was still there. Hopefully there's not a timer. But anyway, if there's not now, that may be something that will happen in the future. We have our spawn point set. We have some chests set. We know that we are vulnerable to zombie attacks at nighttime. They get through the wood, they get through the door relatively quickly, so before long we are going to want to make some traps out here, possibly dig us a fence, put some spikes. We'll have a lot of work to do to secure this place, which we will tackle in various other videos. So one of the things I was mentioning back when we were in the Wastelands, the scrap metal blocks that we picked up here. We can craft a lot of iron with that. As a matter of fact, we may be able to go through all of our coal. We need to grab our mold, which I need to move these as well. I certainly do not want my mold being destroyed. Iron ingot mold. Alright, you guys out there, remind me I need to move those molds somewhere else. Put in our metal. You see that's 45 pounds of metal. So, what is that? 13, 14 iron ingots. The coal will burn for 23 minutes. And actually, when you cook, there's an indication of how long it's going to take. There's not an indication here of how long it's going to take. But we can tell by the countdown that it is going to take a while. So, don't know that it's going to take 20 minutes. We'll pick up half of that coal. Okay, and thank you for reminding me. We will go grab our iron ingot, our mold, the skinned rabbit. We'll just grab all of it. And we have this chest up here, so we'll call this side the animals. And the sack can have our metal items in it. Not sure what I want to do with that. I believe we'll probably end up just scrapping it as well. Yeah, the seeds could go in the middle. No big deal. I do want to craft some blueberry seeds while I'm thinking about it. We will obviously need those to craft a blueberry farm. That way we don't have to walk all the way back to the ice biome or snow biome and find blueberries. I say all the way back. It's obviously not that far. There are plenty of plants out there. But if we're growing our own, and as long as we surround them by a good fence so the zombies are not always smashing them down, we'll be good. That type of land does need to be placed next to a water source. So us being next to the lake is going to be a good thing. Now we could either move the water over in a bucket that we can craft, or we can just put our farm right next to the lake. Either way would be fine. So scrap grass and our blueberry seeds. Okay. So one last thing we want to do on this video that we talked about quite a bit earlier was creating this crushed sand so that we can use that in our molds to make more empty bottles. We obviously do not have a shortage of empty bottles at this time. We have plenty. But at some point in time, you're going to want to craft more bottles. And you're going to need the sand to do so. So let's see how our forge is doing. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to need that mold that I have up here. Our mold. Okay. Well, you get the idea here. Let's take that out. Let's take that out. Let's take that mold out. Put that one in. And we'll see that that crafts us a jar as long as we put suitable material there. 0.8 needed for each jar. And we have 19 left. Didn't really catch what we had there at the beginning, but you can obviously rewind the video if it's important to you to find out. We can see our fire will burn for 8 more minutes. We're not going to need 8 more minutes in order to do this. It will take a while, but no need to actually do that. You get the idea. Once you have gotten to where you can craft jars, you can fill them up at your sources with soda water, and you can boil them down like we did just a moment ago using your cookware. Once you can do that, you've really gotten to the point where you can go anywhere on the map, as long as you can carry enough water with you. Typically, you will find enough food. You carry a few cans of food with you, and you'll find enough to take care of you while you're out. So, anyway, that takes us to the conclusion of what I'm going to do in this video. Perhaps in our next video, we'll spend some time securing this place, maybe do a little bit of farming. I don't know, sure. We'll just have to see what I'm in the mood to do, or perhaps what you're in the mood to have me do. See ya.